This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hi, welcome to the Sound of Gold. It's so nice to be here with you today. If you listened to my show before, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. The Sound of Gold is based on music of today, musicians, music venues, music teachers, music schools, and the focus is music. The reason why I love to do this is because my vision is to keep music alive, to keep original music alive. And there is so much talent out in our communities that on a day-to-day basis, we just take it. I think a lot of us take it for granted because, we go to a place or a venue and they have live music, or, we hear songs on the radio, and it's just like every day. Like, we don't really think about it. We don't think about what goes in behind the scenes, let's say to a radio show with you listening to music on the radio, or when you go to a venue and you're listening to live music. A lot of us don't take it into consideration, like what goes into the preparation for that, and what types of people show up to do that. Of course, musicians. And it's just, it's a niche that once you're a musician, it's almost like it's in your blood. And there's an understanding and a community of musicians that become your forever family. And it's a beautiful thing. And if you don't play an instrument and are thinking about playing an instrument, definitely reach out to community school, music school. Maybe check out your community for where you have live events, where there are musicians that will inspire you and root you on wherever you are in your musical journey. With that being said, I have a dear friend of mine that will be on our show today, and her name is Tia. And Tia is not only a hairdresser by day, she is a musician by night. She's a very talented woman, and I'm pleased and so excited to call her my friend, and even more so that she's made time to be on our show today. Tia, are you backstage? Are you here with us?
I'm here. Hi.
Well, thank you for making the time to be on our show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes. And I don't know if you heard like the back end of what I was saying, but I'll just reiterate. It's so important to me to share all of our voices. I want to continue to be that voice for the musicians. You have so much talent. There's so much talent out there. And it's like we just get like passed by. Like it's a lot of people take it for granted. Or even when we go to play at venues, like we don't do it for the money. However, it does kind of help pay the bills. Yeah. So, I really want to make an emphasis on venues to maybe at some point in time to maybe pay a little bit more, because what we put into our passion or what we put into anything, we get back. However, sometimes it's not exactly the way we want to get it back. But set that aside. Tia, I know you. I've known you for a while now, but I only know like so much of you. You're so talented, and I want to share with our listeners. I mean, you have such a juggle. You are a hairdresser. You are a musician, and I am a hairdresser too. I don't know if you know that.
I do.
And you're a musician. You're a mom. You're a wife. You're a grandmother, which blows me away because you do not look like grandma at all.
Thank you.
And it's a blessing, but you just don't. Yeah, you just don't have that grandma look.
No grandma vibe coming from me. Well, I had my
awesome.
daughter when I was really young, so I am a young grandma, but I'm definitely a grandma.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
anyway.
That's
I
awesome.
feel like a grandma, but I see what other people see sometimes, and they're like, "We don't see you as a grandma." I'm like, "But I am."
Well,
But
you're great.
thank you.
You're welcome. Your energy is always so great. You're always so outgoing and bubbly. And you perform out. I mean, you juggle so much. And I guess what I want to share with our listeners is like what's your, I don't know if this is the right question to start off with, but or you know what? I'm going to save that question. Tell us, let's go back. Let's go back to Tia. Like what part of your journey, like what has inspired your journey to bring you to where you are now?
Oh my goodness,
dressing,
so many things.
Like what, how did you get here?
So I have a musical family. Although I was extremely shy when I was young and never wanted to sing in front of anybody, or never even knew I had a talent for singing. My dad was a musician and a drummer and had a band my whole life. And I was drawn to music, and I kind of feel the beats of music. And I always could, hear the drums and really feel the music. But I was very shy, and I had just kind of a dysfunctional childhood like many people, and I never really got into music until later. And it's gonna seem kind of crazy, but I started singing karaoke, and I was extremely shy, but one time I was somewhere and somebody handed me a microphone and I just started singing, and I was hooked. I immediately was hooked. It was just a house party, and I was hooked. I went home, I bought microphones, I got CDs, I started practicing because I was like, oh my God, I want to do this more. And I don't know, but I just sort of gradually, with doing karaoke and going out every week and singing, I just loved it more and more. I wanted to be better at it, and I took vocal lessons and all kinds of stuff. I could go on forever. And then I had friends who were singers, and I joined karaoke contests, and I won free lessons with one teacher. And I've had lots of musical friends that have inspired me over the years. Fonda Cash is one of them. She always invited me to her shows and asked me to get up and sing with her, and I would. And it was terrifying, but I did it. And then it just made me want more and more. And my dad passed away in 2012, and it felt like it was traumatizing, but I don't want to cry, but it made me closer to music because it made me feel closer to him in a way. And so then it was really important for me to learn an instrument and be better at it and do it more professionally. So it drove me to do that. And I joined my sister-in-law's band, Southern Blend. And it was just the three of us in the beginning, me, Tammy, and Dave. And then it grew into a much bigger thing. And it was wonderful with Shar and Mo and Dwayne. And it just got a lot for me, the traveling all back and forth. So I had to stop that. And then I found a duo partner and became an acoustic duo for 2 years. And that taught me so much. And all through this time, I had been at home strumming my guitar and learning chords and trying to learn rhythms and trying to learn songs. And so kind of on the side, I was learning the guitar. And then and now here I am today, and I'm out with Dwayne, someone from Southern Blend that we ended up hooking up and becoming a duo. And now we're around playing different places, and I love it. It's exactly what I want to do. I'm not trying to be rich and famous. I'm not trying to do anything. I just want to be singing every weekend because it brings me joy. So, and I'm still practicing my guitar like crazy. And I can play probably 10 different chords and, a few different rhythms, but I'm still an amateur guitarist, really. I'm mostly a vocalist, and I'd love to be better. So my goals are just to keep getting better and keep doing what I'm doing, basically.
So for our listeners out there that are maybe newer musicians, and are wanting to get out there, what would be, and I might ask this again later, but what would be from your journey, what words of inspiration would you share with them?
I would say do it now, because I'm 52 and I wish so badly I had the courage to do what I'm doing now 10 years ago or more. And I was trying, I was kind of playing around with it, but I was so scared and full of fear to not be accepted or to not be good enough, I was so intimidated by it. And it took what it took for me to get out there. But I say just go for it immediately, like right now, like don't waste any time, because you might, who knows what can happen in life, tomorrow is not promised. So just go and follow your dreams and get out there and sing, go to open mic nights, go to karaoke, go wherever you need to go to play your songs or whatever, and just do it. And don't be afraid, because there's all levels of talent out there, and everybody has their own unique gift, and don't be down on yourself, just go do it. So that's what I would say.
And wouldn't you agree? Because I mean, we have some of the same friends, but then when we're not together, we have other friends, right? But in our music families, right, because there's more than one,
so many, yeah.
Wouldn't you agree that no matter what level you're at, nobody's there to compare each other, like who's better? No. Everybody's there just to support you. And especially if you're just beginning, like everybody's been there. Everybody's been at that beginning, like I'm terrified to get on stage.
Yes. I'm terrified just to put yourself out there like that. Like for me, it was walking into a place and shaking hands with somebody and being like, I want to play here. This is a place I can see myself singing, and you should try me. You know what I mean? Like I had a hard time with that confidence. And that held me back for a long time, having that confidence that I can do this. I know I'm good enough, kind of a thing. And it sounds, cliche, I guess, because, we always talk about being enough, and there's lots of books on it and different things, self-help stuff, but it really is true. We don't feel like we're good enough. We're so hard on ourselves. And I just say, walk right through the fear and do it, and just do it. I guess you fake it till you make it. I don't know. But, that was one of the things that held me back. And so I would tell anyone who is, wants to do this and has waited their whole life to do it, or however many years, just do it. Don't worry about the rest. Just do it.
And it's so funny because we get so, and I'll speak for myself, but you and I could probably like be on the same page. Like human nature, we are so afraid of rejection.
Yes.
And when we're in front of other people, we're so worried about what they think of us. But really the truth is they're in their own head worried about themselves, wondering what we think of them.
Right.
And so it's like you sometimes, I do every now and again remind myself that like everybody else is thinking the same thing, because we're all worried about, are we going to sound good enough? Are we going to look good enough?
Do I look good enough? Am I skinny enough? Is my hair, is my makeup right? Like, do I look good? And I admire those people who don't care about that kind of stuff and just go out there and are themselves. But yes, and I found that in our group of people that we are surrounded by, our close group of singers and musicians, we're all very supportive of one another. And you understand that everybody has a bad day once in a while, or everybody has a cold or a sinus infection they're dealing with, or maybe their voice isn't perfect that day, or maybe they're not on perfectly that day, and that's okay, because that happens to everyone, even big name professionals. And we all have good days and bad days, and we are so supportive of one another. I find, there are those people out there that aren't, or that are very competitive, but I like to focus on the people that are positive and supportive and that clap no matter what, just clap, because I'm putting myself out there, and I'm trying. And I just feel like that's so wonderful and loving, and it helps you. It helps people to really get out there and do what they love. So thank you.
So as a musician, Where do you guys have something planned coming up this weekend? Do you have a show coming up?
Yes, we have 2 shows. We have one Friday night at the Jensen Beach VFW. And then we have one at Duke's Bottoms Up Bar and Grill on Monterey Road in Stewart. So we have 2 gigs this weekend. We don't always have 2 gigs because Dwayne and I both work day jobs during the week and have a lot going on, both family wise and everything. Right. So we're just weekend warriors. So occasionally we have 2, like a Friday and a Saturday, and occasionally we just have 1. This weekend we happen to have 2 coming up. So I'm gearing up for that. And I have some special songs I'm going to put in, for Saturday. So I'm working on those, and, nice. Yeah, it's exactly what I want to do. A lot of people are like, how come you don't play, some of the more popular places? And to tell you the truth, some of those places are hard to get into if you don't have like an agent, and you don't have, if you're not close with the right people, it's kind of there is some sort of like a music clique out there that not in all of them. And, sometimes you have to know somebody to get in. And, so I just play, and people take our card, and we seem to get jobs from the places we play. So I just kind of go wherever it takes me. I just and I want to be playing for people that are happy and that want to, that love me. So I just go there and go with it. I don't try to like get into any fancy venues or anything like that. If it happens, it happens, So for our listeners who are wondering how to do that, right? It's not easy.
Yeah.
That's not easy to get started. I feel like you do have to walk into a few places and be like, hi, my name is Tia, and I sing and I do a variety of music, and I would love to play here, and see if they, I'd love to be on your calendar, and give them some dates, or email people or do cold calls. I mean, you can do all that stuff. I find that walking into places and meeting people is kind of the best way, because they see your face, you hand them your card, they're sometimes when you email people, it's easy to ignore, or you leave a message for someone and it is easy to ignore. Maybe those restaurant people get hundreds of those every day where musicians are coming in and giving them their card. And so, it does help. It also helps to have a social media presence, and have some videos and some pictures and some things. So these are all things that when I say go out there and do it, I mean, go out there, take pictures of yourself, get some videos of yourself, have a Facebook that you call your band name or your musician name. And so that you have some content to show people when you're advertising yourself, to get those first gigs, to get yourself out there. It is hard. It's not easy, but you just try. You find places you would like to play where you think your music will go over well, and you walk in and you ask to speak to who books the music, and you try to make contact with those people and talk to them and give them your information. And there is rejection, and that sometimes they're booked for many months, and sometimes they don't want to pay very much, and sometimes there's a million things that I could say, but you just do it, and one will come through, and then you get yourself a gig, and then hopefully people take your card and tell other people, and your friends come to support you and pass out your card, and it just works like that. It's a snowball, and you sometimes have to keep calling places for a while, until you kind of get into a groove of doing those gigs and getting out there and getting better and better at it. And I feel like I was a nervous wreck at every gig for probably the first, year or something. And then I started to relax and get really excited about the gigs, so it just was all a process, and it took forever. And so that's why I am pressing the urgency, like, just do it, because you have to overcome all these obstacles and to get to the next level. So you just have to do it. You have to just start somewhere.
So if our listeners out there want to connect with you and call you to book a date, what would be the best way to reach you?
Well, my phone number.
And a double-sided question. Do you have a website that they can go to listen to your music?
I took my website down because it wasn't really working for me. Okay. I have a Facebook called Tia Marie Music at facebook.com. And I also just have my basic Facebook, Tia Karamita Hardin. And they can always contact me through there. It's completely open to the public, and it's got my phone number, my email, contact me through Messenger. That's the way a lot of people contact me nowadays. I am starting up a link tree, which is, it's not a website, but I'm going to put the QR code on my business card so that when I pass that out, you can just go straight to my link tree, and you can go straight to my Facebook and see where I'm going to be playing, and you can message me, and you can, and I'll have like a YouTube channel and a Facebook and an Instagram linked to that. And I'm working on that now. I haven't completed that yet, but,
my cat's biting.
But yeah, that's it. Oh, that's okay. Cute little baby. I can't see because your name is covering the kitty. I can see the ears.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's here. This is Kiki.
Kiki.
What kind of music do you love to play? What? Or most recently, what kind of music have you been playing? Do you have a genre, or do you have original pieces?
I've written like 2 songs and they're bad. I need help. No, I just basically sing covers right now, and that's where I'm at. And I do such a huge variety of music because it's kind of like whatever the mood is, I just try to go with it. So if they want dance music and disco-y music and fun classics like oldies and stuff, I play those. And if they want classic rock, I do my best with that. I love Fleetwood Mac and Tom Petty and all those kinds of classic rock bands. I sing all kinds of stuff from that era, like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit of today. I love country music. I sing a lot of country music when it's needed. If it's just a variety, I put a little bit of everything in. But I really try to read the room. Dwayne is a country singer. Like, he can sing Lionel Richie and he will make it a country song. Like, there is no getting around that. So I usually leave the country to him. I may throw 1 or 2 in and try to be diverse and do a bunch of other stuff so that whoever's in the audience, there's something for everyone. And I take requests and stuff like that. So if it's kind of just like a little bit of everything. It's what I say,
Sure. Depending on
oldies, pop, dance, 70s to today, anything, anything I feel like I can sing.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna ask. I have a couple more questions, and I'm gonna detour a little bit in and out. Like, we're human beings, right? And maybe it's just me, but I think others could agree. Like, when you see somebody on television or the movie theater or on stage performing, you give them this other kind of attention, like, oh, like they got it all together. Right? But we're human. And you said it earlier before, we have families, we have jobs. This is just kind of like a side gig because, like, as a musician, this is our way to like express ourselves, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So I wrote the book on, well, it's really not published yet, on the juggle, the life juggle, right? Now, you, like me, there is like, I'm not going to call it the struggle. I'm going to call it the juggle.
Okay.
Because there's no balance.
I like
you think, oh, there's got to be balance in life. Well, no, there's no balance. You just have to look. This is my coming from me, but I want to hear your version. Coming from me, it's learning how to juggle, right? Because I am, like you, the hairdresser, the musician, the mom, the wife. So what's your secret to keep that juggle going? Because I'm certain that there's more people out there like you and I that are maybe afraid to step forward because, like, can I handle the juggle? Can I add more? Can I express myself without feeling like I'm being pulled back?
Yes. So, and that was also kind of like a learning process for me as well. I had to find a way to make time for everything. And the way I did that was, it took some time, but I figured it out. I needed to work less at my day job because I had to make time and space to be inspired and to practice my songs and to make set lists and to do all the other work, like posting on Facebook and posting. That's a whole nother thing, is the social media
Yes.
Aspect to everything, trying to keep current everything, put videos up and all that. I had to take a day from my day job, and I had to give myself a longer weekend to work on my music. And that was tough to do that. I also feel like being organized is imperative. If I was unorganized, like, and didn't have lists and a plan and didn't do things in advance, I would be a disaster. That's because it helps you to be prepared. So for whatever's coming, today is my day off. So it's, groceries and cleaning and meeting with you and pre-cooking food for the week, because that's a whole nother thing. What about food? What about all that stuff? Cooking dinner for your family. I mean, there are nights when I make sure I buy, foods that are convenience foods so my family can fend for themselves when I'm not home, when I'm at the salon late. And then I try to figure out what nights that week I can cook for the family. And it's real. I mean, you really have to just be organized and plan it out. And that's how I do it, to try to find that balance, which there's never a perfect balance. Always something's getting in the way, or something but I find that if I'm prepared and I have a plan and I do a little bit of this and that in advance, when the curveballs come, I can handle it. I can dodge those balls, and I can try to manage whatever comes my way. I feel like that's the key for me, is just being organized and knowing what's coming and planning ahead.
I completely understand, because I'm in some ways the same way. I'm the manager. In fact, I was talking about something irrelevant with Steve earlier. And I said, I made an executive decision, right, within the ship of Lisa, because I am like the manager of me. And like, it's so important, like our listeners out there, it's so important to be able to manage your life, because we're sharing our lives together as musicians. We're expressing ourselves. We're sharing our lives with our listeners, with the people we perform with our family members. We're always kind of on stage, if you think about it.
Always. And as a hairdresser as well.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to people, you're greeting people, you're hearing about their life, you're constantly on.
Yes.
And I do find that I need quiet time sometimes, complete silence time, just because I'm on so much that I almost have to just shut down and shut everything down and be quiet for a little while, just to have that moment of space to myself. But yes, there's so much stuff we could talk about. It's so much.
But it's being human, and as women and as performers and workers, and we're talented, and we have just so much to give. And then I think the last person we give back to is ourselves. And it's so important. You brought it up. It's so important to take some time every day.
Yep.
Just for yourself. Just
like an hour or something. At least an hour, something,
Right. And it's not a smoking thing. We don't smoke. It's not a smoking thing. It's more of I need a time out. Like, just put me in the corner. Let me have that peace, that
yeah, a little meditation, maybe a little exercise, or even just for me, it's playing my guitar. I love to just sit and be with my songs and play my guitar. And that to me is, and I do all of this. What drives me to do all of this is that moment on stage when I get to sing my songs. Like, that drives me to do all this. I'm like, if I don't do all these things, I have that. So that you have little bits of joy that come back at you, but it's a lot of work. And you just have moments of peace. You don't really get a lot, but you get a little, and you savor those moments,
And I can relate with you also, playing an instrument, and all our musicians out there that are listening. If I sit here and I practice my piano, if I'm working on a song, like I do my own, I compose my own, but if I'm playing or learning somebody else's song, like everything else falls away, right? And you're a musician, you can understand that all of our musicians out there, like once you're focused on your musician, like you know, the house could be like, it could be pouring outside and your car windows can be open and you're just like totally zoned out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
But so it's a beautiful thing. So being a musician, we kind of is a gift we give ourselves.
Yes.
Right.
It's kind of a meditation when you're just you with your music alone. And I feel like I need that not distracted time, that quiet time to really be inspired, though. That's what helps me learn and grow and be better at what I do, is just having those moments. I need those moments of peace. And I don't, you know, it's not really religion, but I pray and I, you know, meditate and have God, and that helps me too. I sometimes just need to have a conversation with God, but you know, I'm not trying to make this a religious thing, but
I can appreciate that.
I have that. So that helps me too. It helps me be centered and calm so that I can go into my day or go to my show and know that I'm giving it my best. It's just, we all need that too. I think if there's too much chaos all the time and you never have any downtime or any peaceful time, you could really get sick or something, because it's just, you have to have that too. With all this stuff going on with having such a busy life, there needs to be that time alone sometimes.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I mean, it's just, you said something before, and this has come up on several of my shows. We mentioned it's work, right? But for our listeners that are newer at music and that are stepping into it, or even for those who are not musicians and are listening in, it's not the work like, oh, you know, it's time to go rake the grass, or, you know,
right.
or walk, you know, or walk 10 dogs and pick up after them. And I mean, well, animals are awesome.
Thing too, but yeah, animals are awesome too. But yes, I know, I get what you mean. It's not hard physical labor. It's attention.
It's attention. It's our attention that need our focus. That's our work. It's our focus. Because to play an instrument, to play a song, to play somebody's music, even your own, you need to be completely mindfulness and focused in the moment. You know, and we're like, as adults, we're still big kids. We're like, okay, is that ice cream still left over in the fridge? Like, what am I going to cook for dinner? What, you know, is there food for breakfast?
Thinking about a million things,
right? Yeah. So that when we step outside of that and we're focusing on the music, that's our work, and it's passion driven. It's not a chore, because it comes from the heart and it's channeled in, and it's a beautiful kind of work. So for our listeners out there, it's not, you know, it's not the work that, you know, oh, I hate going to work today kind of thing. It's like, yeah, you know, sign me up, put, you know, like, let's go, let's get this on.
I can't wait, because my time is the morning. So when I get up in the morning, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to brush my teeth, feed the dogs, let them out, get my guitar, get my tablet, get my songs out, and go. You know, that's like my time in the morning, is to do that. And I savor that hour that I get in the morning before I have to get ready for work, and then the day starts, and then I'm pulled away. But I crave those moments of just that peace where I can just zone in on the music and just be totally present with the music and not have all that other stuff swimming around. Although, on the other hand, because I'm a mom and everything else, I have a guilt about it too. Yeah. So, I mean, it's real that, you know, that's really real, that I feel guilty about it, that I take that time for myself, but I need that time for myself. So, you know, there's always that, I guess, when you're a mom and when you're a wife and when you're tied to, you know, a family and you have a bunch of stuff. It's like, I always feel like, should I be doing something for somebody else, or should I be, no, I need this, I need to do this, or I won't be good for this weekend when I have a show. You know, I have to do these things. So I have a little bit of both.
So you have an agenda for your music time, for your practice.
Yeah.
So, I want to mention this because it's going to just intertwine with what you're saying. And this show is not about me. It's about you. Like, I always, like, my focus is on my guests, but I'm going to make a point. There was there was a time in my past where my dad had passed away, and for me personally, it hit home so hard, where it was like, and I was living the lifestyle of, at the time I was a single mom, living the lifestyle of a single mom, working 6 days a week, and also living out my passion, not only music, but acting. And, I was doing the juggle. And when my dad passed, it kind of hit me straight on, like, girl, like, what is your priorities?
Yeah.
Like what's going on here? Because you need to prioritize, like, what comes first. Right. So for me, and we're talking like 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, for me, that kind of like realigned. I had to do like an inner inventory.
Yes.
Of like, you know what, I cannot lose myself as an artist. Yes. I need to be able to express myself, but I also have threads out to family members, and, I can't not attend to that too.
Yes.
So, going back to that juggle, and there's really no balance, but it's kind of like meeting each responsibility where it's at and giving it just enough where it's not completely taking ourselves out of who we are completely. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely. Yeah.
And so it's again, I'm calling it the juggle, not the struggle, because it's all fun. It's all good. It's all healthy. I think years ago, I wrote a book called The Tree, not the Three, The Tree of Life. Right. And it's a different topic, but my point is that I so believe that every human being is so talented, and especially our talented artists out there, musicians. We're this tree with many branches, and it's like we're thirsty. We want to be, we want the sun, we want the love. We need to be nourished, but at the same time, we also need to be able to grow.
Yeah.
So it's a juggle. So and what's going to work for you might not work exactly for me, but that's okay. It's making it work.
Just making it work. I mean, like I said, just try to stay organized, figure out what needs to be done, make a list. I feel like that with my family too. I have a lot of family things going on. I have my husband's family. I have my family. We have a lot of holidays at our house. And birthday parties and things, just because we are kind of in the middle of where everyone is, and we have a nice big backyard, and so it just works out. And I always say it, like, the only way I could do all this stuff is if I stay ahead of myself. Once I get behind and everything, then I am struggling to try to catch up. But just planning things and making foods and doing the shopping that needs to be done for whatever. It's just a lot. And I feel like staying organized is the key to it all, because that's the only way I can remember. First of all, I have to put everything in a calendar. I have to remember when, even on my days off, whatever's happening, even if it's that time to practice, that goes in the calendar. That's my time. That's my special time. And everybody has to understand. I feel like a level of communication with your family and your loved ones and your spouse or whatever has to happen too. Like, I have to say, I need that time for myself. Please don't, be upset with me, but I need that time for myself to be inspired and to have peace and to stay calm and to be able to handle whatever comes my way. That's my time. And you have to sometimes, like you said, reprioritize what's going on in your life so that everything is important. Okay. Nothing is not important, but you're trying to make time for all these things. And so it's organizing your thoughts. It's organizing your day. It's organizing your mind to do all that, and having good communication with your family and your friends to help them to understand, what you need in order to make all that happen too. Like, I need help. I can't always do everything by myself. I have to, I have to ask. Sometimes I have to ask my daughter, can you do the grocery shopping? I have to, because I might not be able to get to it today. Or it's just managing. It's like you're the manager of your life, and you have to be the manager of your life to make all this happen.
And I completely understand. You have to, I do too. I live by an agenda. If it's every day, even my days off, everything is written down.
Even for inspiration, even for things that you should think would come naturally. But if there's so much going on, that inspiration can't flow because there's so much blocking it. So, you almost have to make time for the inspiration, for the moments of nothing. I need those moments of nothing in order to feel inspired, where it's like, I don't have anything I have to do. And I can just, like we said, that meditation moment, that time that is just for you, is carved out just for you. And sometimes that needs to go in the calendar, that time.
Yes, absolutely. It definitely has to go in there. And I don't know if this I would think it has something to do with what we're talking about. I have this conversation, a similar conversation with my daughter and a friend of mine. And the moral of it all was, we were talking about being in, having to go out and be around other people or doing other things for not only ourselves, but having to be somewhere, somebody else's house or somebody else's event, or just having to show up for somebody else. And my whole point was, and even though as a musician and as a human being, when we have to step aside from that juggle of our regular routine of doing what we do, and we have to step aside to do something else that sometimes we really don't want to do.
Or it's for someone else, and we're doing it.
You have to remember.
We want to show up for them, so we're doing it, but we really don't have time to do it. Or yes,
right.
Yes.
So I guess my point is sometimes when those opportunities show up and you kind of get it, I don't know, sometimes I feel like under my breath, I'm a little annoyed. I don't want to do this or do that, but I go anyway, or I show up anyway. I have to remind myself, it's not for me. It's for you.
Yeah.
And that just kind of shines the light. And when I said this to a friend of mine, and I said this to my daughter, I'm like, you're making somebody else's day brighter just by showing up.
Yeah.
Get out of your own way, sometimes just like step aside from your routine and just
show up for yourself for a minute. Yeah.
It's healthy sometimes to get out of that rut of routine, because we get so hamster. We become the hamster in our own hamster wheel.
Absolutely. Always. Yes. I do have to do that. And I get that way sometimes. And I always think I'm going to get out when I don't have a show or when I don't have anything going on, and go see my friends sing.
Right.
And I sometimes have a hard time doing that because, I rarely get that time where I don't have to be somewhere. And so sometimes I just want to hang out, and do nothing. But I do feel like it's important, like you said, to get out of your head and show up for somebody else once in a while, and do other things, and get out of your own comfort zone and go do stuff. Sometimes you have to do that too. And then that could turn into an inspiration or something that you have no idea what it could turn into.
Exactly. You never know who you're going to
You could see somebody you haven't seen him forever and make a connection. You could, it's just a good thing to force yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone sometimes and go do other things. It's just, sometimes that works out good for you too. It's the break that you needed, and you didn't even know that it was going to be like that,
Yes.
So you might be fighting the whole way there, but then when you get there, you have a good time, and then it's like, I'm so glad I went,
That's so true. Now, do you practice every day?
Every day.
That's awesome.
Every day. Probably not for lengthy periods of time, but sometimes I get 10, 15 minutes to just play a few songs, and sometimes I get an hour, or whatever, but it's never a set amount of time. I like to focus on my music for about an hour every day. I don't always get an hour,
right?
But I always do something.
Now,
even if it's just listening to a song that I'm trying to learn, even if it's just listening to it on repeat and just learning the words and learning the melody and stuff. So
now, you play guitar. Do you play by ear, or do you read sheet music, or you do both?
I just read chords.
Okay.
I have a ultimate guitar app, and it's got chords and lyrics, and I save the scores that I want, and I send it to, I have Fourscore on my tablet, and that's like a organization for, I guess, for lots of other things, but I do it for the music. So I save the music sheets from guitar tabs, and I send them over to my Fourscore, and then I can organize them into playlists and stuff like that. And then I can just use that as my practice thing. So I can just pull up any song, and I've got the chords and the lyrics. And then I sometimes have to go through it and go through the song a few times to remember like the rhythm or the pace, the tempo and stuff like that. But that's how I do it. I don't, I started to learn to read music, and I was just getting there, and stuff happened. Life got in the way, and I had to stop the lessons that I was taking. And so then I just went to reading guitar chords and trying to figure out how to make the shapes with my hand. And I watch YouTube, and I don't take any official lessons right now. But I'm considering going back to school for it, because I feel like I'm a little stuck at this one place, and I'd like to progress. So I've been talking to my husband about maybe taking lessons again, but I'll wait till we get into season, because I'll need to make more money.
Yes. Well, if you ever have questions, just shoot me a text. I'd be more than happy to answer questions for you.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a practice. So really, you're like self-taught. You're working every day. You're committed.
I've taken lessons a few times, just for short periods of time. Like I took lessons for like 8 months one time, and like 8 months another time, and then I would watch lessons on YouTube. For a while. I did that for a while. I haven't done that in a while. I might start going back to that before I can take like real paid lessons.
Sure. And that's helpful too.
But just repeating certain patterns over and over and over again with your fingers, trying to just kind of make it second nature. That's what I find needs to happen with singing, vocalizing, and playing the guitar. Is a lot of people do it and do it very well. It's hard. It's really hard to sing well and play the guitar. So I can sing well, but put a guitar in my hand and the same song that I could soar at, I can barely eke out, because I'm so focused on what's going on down here that it's hard for me to really use my true voice. So
you sound great. I don't mean to cut you off, but we have just a couple minutes left. Please share with your listeners how we get in touch with you, so we can book you for a local venue, or we can connect with you and listen to your music on Facebook or online.
Okay. I have a Facebook. It's called Tia Marie Music. And you can look me up, and you can find, there'll be videos on my page of little clips of me singing places, and me and Dwayne, or Dwayne and I should say. And our duo is called Gypsy Cowboy Duo. And also you can find me, I don't have a link tree up yet, so I don't have that to give to you, but I can give you my phone number. And you can call me, but finding me on Facebook is probably where you could find me, and message me right now is the best thing I could give to you. So Tia Karamita Hardin, or Tia Marie Music on Facebook.com, and that's where you can find me, and message me on Instant Messenger, or call me, because my phone number is listed there.
Okay, awesome. Well, Tia, thank you so much. It's been such a joy to have you on the show. And for our listeners, you've heard Tia here first, and I hope you get out to see her and connect with her. And if I don't see you this weekend, have 2 awesome shows, and I know that we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed this very much. Thank you. I'm honored to be on here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. That was Tia Marie Hardin. And as you heard, Tia Marie Music. I'm sorry, I have my cat here who wants attention too, or she wants to be on the show. She's insistent. Again, Thank you for tuning in. Tune in next week as you will find out who our guest is next week, our music guest. And in the meantime, let's keep music alive. Let's keep it going. There's lots of talent out there. Go out to your local community venues, find out who's playing, go out and support them. And if you are a starting musician, go out and play. And you'll find you have an extended music family out there waiting to meet you and to hear you. And don't doubt yourself. Give yourself lots of credit to be all that you are. And yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a wonderful week. See you next Monday. Keep music alive.